Alright guys, let's go. This is DM. We're back again. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. We're obviously not playing a game if you can't tell by the way the screen's set up. Instead, we're going to be going over the spoilers that came out today. This is Monday, the 24th of October, for the Commander 2006 edition for Magic the Gathering. For those of you who don't know, I'm a huge Magic the Gathering player. I've been playing since I was a kid. I've collected cards all my life. If you can't see, right behind me, that big stack right there, that's all Magic cards. That's a lot of Magic cards. And then there's a binder right about there that's chock full of all my rares and all that other kind of good stuff. So, as you can see on your screen, on November 11th, they're going to come out. They're going to release another set of Magic cards. There's going to be 5 decks. They're Commander decks. Commander is a format within Magic where you have one particular card that is your general, your commander, who's a legendary creature, and then you have to build your deck according to what colors your commander has. It's a 100 card deck. You can only have one copy of each card except for basic lands, and those just some of like the basic rules to Commander. If you're not really sure what that all means, of course you're probably going to have to look it up. There's a little bit of information right below where you see down here. It says what is Commander. We're going to go over a little bit more. Maybe it's a little bit more simple, but that's kind of like a very quick gist. But so they're releasing 5 different Commander decks, about 56 new cards across them all. So maybe like 10 to 11 new cards in each deck, and then maybe one card is like in all of them. I don't know. We're gonna have to wait to find out. But they did start spoilers today. We're gonna go over the spoilers, but of course I first want to go through some information about the set and some of the decks, some other information that isn't in the spoilers just yet. So for starters, what is Commander? And this is of course off the Magic the Gathering website, magic.wizards.com. And what this says is Commander is an exciting, unique way to play Magic that is all about awesome legendary creatures, big plays, and battling your friends in epic multiplayer games. In Commander, each player chooses a legendary creature as the commander of their deck. They then play with a 99 card deck that contains only cards of their commander's colors. There's 5 colors: white, blue, black, green, and red. And I always get green and red mixed up. It's supposed to be red and green, but whatever. Also, other than basic lands, each deck can only have one copy of any card. During the game, you can cast your commander multiple times, meaning your favorite legendary creature can come back again and again to lead the charge as you battle for victory. So, they haven't released all 56 new cards, which is to include the 5 commanders. What's special about this set is that the commanders are going to be 4 colors. So out of the 5 colors that we just named, white, blue, black, red, and green, they will be missing one color and have the other 4. So each deck will be missing one of the colors in the wheel, and that leads for different strategies, different mechanics, and all kinds of crazy stuff. We don't know what all the different decks are going to be like. We do know what this first one is, and it's because it was spoiled today, so we're going to look at it later, but just for now, it's called Breed Lethality. It's the deck that does not have red in it. Atraxa Praetor's Voice serves as emissary for four of new Phyrexia's 5 Praetors. Interesting. The Indomitable Atraxa's greatest strength is her power to spread the influence of Phyrexia, enhancing her armies while decimating the opposition. The next one is going to be the one that without green. Invent Superiority. Brea Ethereum Shaper. I think I said that right. Learn to command powerful works of artifice on the Esper Shard of Alara. Her mastery of lightning and expertise with Ethereum enable her to unlock the full potential of her creations and overwhelm her foes. Based on the fact that it doesn't have green, and green is notorious for not getting along well with artifacts, they have probably the most artifact removal in the entire game, to include entire artifact board wipes. Uh, and because of the way this is worded, I am assuming this is going to be like your big artifact deck. Um, Blue black have a decent amount of artifacts. White has some artifacts. Red has some artifact removal, but red artifacts is also a pretty big strategy with some other commanders. So I get the feeling that's going to be your artifact deck. Entropic Uprising, is going to be the non-white deck, and Yidris, Maelstrom Wielder, harnesses raw chaotic energy to obliterate his foes, channeling the Maelstrom at Alara's center. He cares little for long-term plans, but preferring to unleash bursts of devastation upon anything in his path. Based on the fact that they use the word Maelstrom and the color combinations adding black to blue, red, and green, which are the colors for a legendary creature called Maelstrom Wandering, I'm wondering if this is not going to be a Cascade commander. Maelstrom Wanderer himself is a Cascade commander. Cascade is an ability that says when you cast this card that has Cascade on it, you can look at the top of your deck until you find a spell that has the same mana cost or lower, and you can play that spell for free. So I'm wondering if because of Maelstrom, the color combination, and even the burst of devastation idea, this might be a Cascade deck, but we'll have to wait and see for more. Open Hostility is the non-blue deck. Saskia the Unwilling thrives in brutal combat, calling upon vicious hordes to crush her adversary underfoot. Saskia's strikes always find their mark, cleaving through any foe that stands between her and the focus of her fury. I get the feeling this is going to be green, red, and white based, just because of how it's worded. Green, red, and white are that kind of, hard striking, really fast kind of combat, and then add black for some good removal and some other tricks, and I could see that being what this deck's going to be. Stalwart Unity is going to be the non-black. Uh, Kineos and Tiro of Miletus, which is from Theros, believe harmony is the key to true power. They share the rewards of their unshakable bond among their supporters, building alliances before unleashing powerful haymaker spells against their enemy. I get the feeling this is going to be your more control-y deck. It's going to be, I think white and blue are going to be like your main, I don't know, I guess your main strategy, I guess. And did we go over the first, was this the first one I had? Or was this the first one I had? I think that was all 5. Yeah, that was all 5. Yeah, because we talked about how this one is already being revealed. So for now, before we go into the cards, I just want to look at some of the mechanics that have been revealed in some of the cards. We'll see them later. I'm not going to read everything. This is obviously one of the cards that's been spoiled. The big one here is Partner. So Partner states you can have 2 commanders if both have Partner. They have shared, I think, 5, maybe 6, we'll count later, of the 2-color commanders. So this one is blue and black. Each 2-color commander has Partner. So each 2-color commander can be a dual commander with another one. So you can do blue black and then black green, blue black and then blue red. It doesn't matter. Or you could do blue black, green white and have 4 colors still in your deck. That's crazy. That's insane. Commander Versus actually just recently did a video where they had 2 commanders. If you haven't seen it, I'll put a link to that in the description below. It's a really good video. Commander Versus is a really good series over from the guys over at Star City Games. I highly encourage you to go and watch it. Go check it out. It's a really good series. If you enjoy Commander, if you enjoy Magic, you'll enjoy the videos. Promise. They come out every Wednesday. I watch them every Wednesday. They're anywhere from like an hour and a half to sometimes 2 hours and 10 minutes, I think was last week's episode. So it's just crazy. So like right here, blue, black, red, white, partner, partner. You would then have a 98 card deck with 2 commanders, according to the rules, which I read this a little bit earlier. I'm not going to go through this whole crazy nonsense, but oh, and here's talking about you can add any mana, add to your mana pool 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. This does go for mana of either of your commander color identities. So again, with this example, that one land could add blue, black, red, or white, which is insane and crazy. This I'm super excited for. This is another card they spoiled obviously today. It is called Sublime Exhalation. For 7 mana, it's basically a board wipe. We've had 7 mana board wipes before. I'm not a fan of them. There are better board wipes, either for more mana or cheaper board wipes, one or the other. However, this has Undaunted. The spell costs 1 less to cast for each opponent. So in my house, we typically do 5-person games, which means I'm going to take 4, because I'm not an opponent, obviously, so 1, 2, 3, 4 off of this cost. So I have essentially 2 and a white. A 3 mana, destroy all creatures. Holy crap, that's amazing. I'm curious to see what else they have Undaunted, and I'm really hoping that it's going to be on cards similar to this, board wipes that are going to have big effects, not just, hey, put this creature out, or hey, I don't know, anything crazy like that. I hope it's not something silly. This is obviously a global effect, so I'm hoping like global enchantments or global spells, whether it's mill, damage, whatever, I hope that's how the Undaunted tends to work out in this set. So we'll have to see as they come out with more. Basic land cycling, they're talking about returning mechanics in this one. Basic land cycling is not new, but basically basic land cycling, regardless of what the number is, you tap 2 mana and discard this card to search for a basic land, reveal it, and put it in your hand, then shuffle. I don't really know why they talked about that too much. I guess people were asking about it or something, but yeah, for the most part, that's not amazingly exciting, I guess, but you know, whatever. Alright, so moving on, let's get to the actual 13 cards that they spoiled. We're going to start off with what I believe is the most important one. They revealed one of the 5 4-color commanders, Atraxa Praetor's Voice, which again is a non-red. So as you can see, she costs green, white, blue, and black. She's a 4/4, which is already not bad. 4 mana, 4/4, flying, vigilance, Death Touch, Lifelink. She's crazy. Just off her cost, her body, and her basic abilities, her regular abilities. Then you add at the beginning of your end step, Proliferate. This commander has me extraordinarily worried, I'm telling you right now, and I'm going to tell you why. Proliferate says you can choose any number of permanents and or players with counters on them, and give each another counter of that kind already there. The reason why this scares the crap out of me is because there is a mechanic in Magic called Infect. If a creature with Infect hits a player's life total, they get a poison counter for each point of damage that they would do. If you get 10 poison counters, you're dying. You're dead. So in Commander, you start off with 40 life. So for a quarter of that, you can die. Even Commander damage is 21 points of damage from one Commander. So I would have to hit you with this 7 times in order for you to die. But however, if I give this thing Infect somehow, I only have to hit you twice and then proliferate twice. So you'd get 4 counters from one hit, 4 counters from another hit, be at 8, proliferate to get to 9, proliferate to get to 10, and you're dead. That's insane, and here's why this scares me. Green, blue, and black have some of the best infect spells in them. I think they have most of the infect in conjunction with some artifacts. This right here is going to be the Infect Commander. Whether they build it as the Infect Commander or not, I get the feeling that that's what we're going to wind up seeing. I can see it at my table, and I'm already going to hate people who play. Let's see if the Thesaurus even has anything about it. It does not. Okay, they're talking more about the Proliferate. But I wouldn't be surprised if we saw anybody talking about it. Okay, they don't talk about it yet, so people haven't thought about it or I don't know. Another crazy thing you can do with this is experience counters. In the last set of Commander, they introduced experience counters where every time something happened, you would get an experience counter. Experience counters, there's no way to get rid of them in the game that I know of. And if I remember correctly, because they weren't on a permanent, so you couldn't destroy the permanent, you couldn't remove counters from a permanent. So this could be another way to get experience counters. One experience counter was for green black. It allowed you to bring creatures back if from your graveyard if the converted mana cost was less than the amount of experience counters you had. Otherwise, it would go to your hand. So this is just a way to accelerate that. Green blue had one that was crazy. White black was kind of weak, and then the other two required red, and this doesn't have red. So you won't be able to use proliferate with that. But just in general, like you get the idea of you can manipulate stuff that people can't handle. Like you can't do anything about poison counters. You can't do anything about experience counters. So it's just crazy that a commander is now going to basically say, hey, do this thing. So we've seen Sublime Exhalation, so we're not going to talk about that one. Another one I really want to talk about is this artifact right here, as soon as it pops up. Prismatic Geoscope is a 5 mana artifact. It enters the battlefield tapped. What it says is domain. You tap it to add X mana in any combination of colors to your mana pool, where X is the number of basic land types among lands you control. What? So there's 5 basic land types. Technically there's 6 if you count waste. But there's 5 basic land types, right? You can now tap this thing if you have all 5. If you have a plains, island, swamp, mountain, forest, you can tap this thing for 5 mana of any combination of colors. So you can get 5 forests, you can get 1 forest, 3 plains, and a swamp, it doesn't matter. If you have all 5 land types out, you can get 5 more mana. This is going to be a must-have for anything with 4 colors or 5 colors. I would say it's even worth it to put in something with 3 colors. Anything less than that, 2 colors, you're probably not getting a big bang for your buck. So 2, maybe not. 3, I could see it. I could justify having this in a 3-color deck because it's a mana fixer, right? What if I only have blue and black and I need access to green? I can then tap this thing for 2 green because I can tap for 2 because I only have black and blue. It's insane, it's crazy, it's broken. It's going to facilitate so many 5-color and 4-color decks. And of course, you're going to be seeing a lot more 4-color decks with all these partner decks. And then we're just going to go straight into the other commanders. But yeah, I can see that being a must-have in a lot of decks now. Sadara Conda of Daruma. It is your white-green commander. It is 4 total converted mana cost, 2 a green and a white. It is a human knight. It has flanking. So this means they might be bringing flanking back. This is one of the mechanics I was not too crazy about them bringing back. Not because it's bad. Well, okay. Not because it's bad in the sense of a complicated way or anything like dumb or broken or anything like this, because it's not really, in my opinion, worthwhile. Flanking states whenever a creature without flanking blocks this creature, the blocking creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. So creatures that block this get smaller because they're flanked. That's what it says. But it doesn't stack. It doesn't do anything super crazy. It basically says that if you block it with a 3/3, it's going to die. Because this is a 2/5. So a 3/3 blocks this, it goes down, it gets -1/-1 until end turn, it's at 2/2. It's going to die to my 2 damage. I guess that's kind of good. I don't really think it's worth it. The partner, of course, is there. That's a big thing because it gives you access to green, white, and maybe 2 other colors. This ability, however, does mean something. Creatures your opponents control without flying or reach can't block creatures with power 2 or less. In colors green and white, and then if you just put, I would say white and red as your, or green and red, whatever. If you have a green, red, white deck, I would say this is going to be an amazing, amazing commander because I can think of so many ways of for green, white, and red to make little 1/1s or 2/2s. Think about human soldiers, red and white, goblins, red, elves, green, sapperlings, green, spores, green. Like, holy crap, dude, there are so many little tokens that you can be making with this and some kind of a red commander that now you're unblockable. That's insane. That's crazy. So I think this is going to be a pretty huge strategy for this deck, especially if the red white one is over here. Let's look at the red white one, just because we're talking about it. Bruce Tarr, Boorish Herder, is again another 4-color commander. This one's a 3/3 instead of a 2/5. The other one was 2/5. In case I didn't say that, he's a human ally. Already my mind is blown. I didn't even notice that when we first saw him, but he's an ally. I don't know how much that's going to come into play. If they make him as an ally deck, or there's a lot of allies in his deck, that's going to be insane, but whatever. When Bruce Tarl, Boorish Herder enters the battlefield or attacks, target creature you control gains double strike and lifelink until end of turn. And of course he has partner. So, between him and Sadara, you can be giving, let's say he enters the battlefield or attacks, you can be giving your biggest creature that maybe also has trample, double strike and lifelink, while the rest of your little minion army, from the fact that you're running a lot of soldier and goblin and elf and sapperling tokens, Russian and elves. I don't think I said elves. Russian, completely unable to be blocked because of Sadara. Sadar. I'm sorry. I'm saying Sadar. I just, it's the best of both worlds. Here you can make a big creature even meaner and gain some life back from it. Here, all your little creatures are going to get through. So you're going to have a mix of, here's all my little creature creating, my token generating spells, and then here's my big ass creatures that are just going to stomp you in the face. It's stupid. It's stupid. So we're going to go in order from here on out unless I see a crazy strategy. Silas Wren, Seeker Adept, is a 3 mana, 2/2. He's a human, just a human. He's an artifact creature though, so he's a little different. Has Death Touch, and when he deals combat damage to a player, choose target artifact card in your graveyard. You may cast that card this turn. Because artifact recursion needed an outlet. This is gonna be nuts. I don't know how else to say it. If you put this together with some kind of green partner, you have access to Glissa. If you do a green-red one, you have access to uh, the Ready, which is a Planeswalker that has an amazing amount of artifact recursion. Um, if you also put them with red, you get the new Ready, which is black-red, and again has artifact recursion. Like, what more can you ask for? One extra color, and you have like the perfect artifact commander. I mean, so much recursion, so much craziness. It's gonna be insane. The amount of, oh, and look at this. There's your black red commander right there. Ooh, and we're going to talk about who I think his perfect partner is. So Vile Smasher the Fierce is a Goblin Berserker. For you, those of you who don't know, I'm a huge Goblin player. He's again a 3-mana commander for 2/3 this time. Whenever you cast your first spell each turn, Vile Smasher the Fierce deals damage equal to that spell's converted mana cost to an opponent chosen at random. One, I love the chaos of this guy. It's chosen at random, so it's not my fault. I can't control the fact that I'm trying to play spells. I mean, so what? I happen to play a 9-mana spell, and you only happen to have 8 life, and you were randomly chosen. I can't help that. What do you? You can't be mad at me. So it's already fun there. The fact that it's cast your first spell each turn. It doesn't have to be your turn. Doesn't have to be an opponent's turn. Doesn't have to be, and it doesn't have to be a specific turn. It's any turn. So if I cast an instant, if I cast for then murder, which is an instant that allows you to kill a creature on somebody else's turn, I get to then fling 3 damage somewhere because that's the first spell I've cast on that person's turn. If I cast again, let's say we do pair this up with the artifact guy and I do Darksteel Forge, which is a 9-mana artifact spell, I'm going to shoot somebody for 9 mana. That's insane. It's an insane amount of just crazy, what am I looking for? The versatility. Like, you really then get to pay attention to when you play your spells and how. So this is what I think Vile Smasher's best partner is going to be. Crom, Ludovic's Opus. For 5 mana, he's a 4/4 zombie horror with flying and haste. I'm going to tell you right now, you even take partner off of this guy. 5 mana, flying haste, 4/4 commander. I'm sold. It could do just that, and I'm happy. But he has a partner. Already amazing. So now I'm going to get another crazy commander that has a crazy ability. Vile Smasher, deal some extra damage every time I cast a spell. But wait, there's more. Whenever an opponent casts his or her second spell each turn, draw a card. What? So I play this. Probably your best scenario, you're going to get him out on turn 3. That's probably your best scenario. Worst turn, hopefully your worst case scenario is you get him out on turn 5, which is land dropping every turn. You pass the turn, somebody plays a land fetch and a mana rock, you just drew a card. Next turn, somebody plays something similar, you drew a card. You could get to a point where you're dumping your hand. Let's say you partner them up with something green instead of Vile Smasher. You partner them up with something green, so you're fetching a lot of land, so you're bleh, puking your hand onto the field every turn. There's a potential for you to get a new hand by the time it comes around your turn, because people are gonna play spells. Who knows? People might be playing spells during their opponent's turns, like if I'm person A and person B and then person C, so it's person C's turn, person B might counter something and then kill something. So he just played two spells on somebody else's turn. I still get to draw a card because it's each turn, not each opponent casts it on their turn. It's each turn. There is actually a card very similar to this, which I'm just going to do a comparison, and we're going to switch screens real quick. Jory N came out during Oath of the Gatewatch, which was the Zenda card set 2 sets ago. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, draw a card. For 3 mana, she was a 2/3 Merfolk Wizard. I think this is where they got the idea originally, and it was a good attempt, but in my opinion, this falls very much short of this. Let's look at the body difference. A 2/3 and a 4/4. Already that's a big difference. I would put on a mana for that. Flying and haste versus just that draw ability. I'd put on a mana for that. So again, even if Crom's ability was the same as Jorian's, Crom is winning because his ability is more versatile, in my opinion. Yes, okay, you don't control how people are going to play their game, but people are going to want to play spells. It's Commander, it's multiplayer probably. They're going to want to play spells. Like, there's just no way that's not going to happen. Moving right into the next one, going to keep trying to get along, get along, get along. Kaidel, Chosen of Krufik. So here we're going back to Theros again, so there's 2 commanders from Theros. Is a human wizard for 4 mana. She's a 2/3 partner. Tap to add colorless mana to your mana pool for each card you've drawn this turn. It seems a little weak at first. You have to remember though that she's a wizard. She? Yeah, it's a she. She's a wizard. Wizards have, well, she's a wizard and she's blue. Wizards have amazing ways to draw cards. Blue has amazing ways to draw extra cards. So keep in mind, she's always going to tap for 1 because you're going to draw a card at the beginning of your turn. It doesn't say for every card you draw past the first card of the turn. It doesn't say that. So you're always going to draw at least, or you're always going to tap her for at least 1. You put a Dictator Crufix out, a Kami out. Now you're going to tap her for 2. And because it's strictly colorless waste mana, I think this is going to become a big possibility for blue, green, and whatever color you partner with Eldrazi's. And I would probably, because of the last Zendikar, I would probably try to mix her up with some kind of black. Red had some cool Eldrazi's, but black I think had the most cool Eldrazi's from the last Zendikar set, except for the ones that were just blatantly colorless, like Ulamog and Kozilek, and then we got Emrakul in the Innistrad set. So yeah, I would definitely put her up with some kind of black so that you're getting the biggest bang for your buck. So that's it for the legendaries. Sadar, the you know token army going through. Silas, that graveyard artifact recursion. Vile Smasher, that random every time you cast a spell shooting people. Kaidel, probably again going to be a big time Eldrazi commander for blue, green, and I would advise black, but who am I to say? Bruce, who's again, even if you just play Bruce, which I don't know why you would when you have partner, there's not going to be a reason to play just one of these at any time because you can expand. Even if you were to play, again, just green, white, and all your green was from fetches, land fetches to get more land to play bigger creatures. Taking one creature and making it huge and just getting that lifelink back. Craziness. Crom, again, a better Jorian. My opinion, I said it, I'm going to be the first. And then, of course, Atraxa, probably going to be the Infect Commander that we've all not been ready for. We're going to talk about the other cards really quick. Primeval Protector, 11 mana, right? Sounds insane. How are you going to cast this 10/10 for 11 mana, and why do you want to cast the 10/10 for 11 mana? Primeval Protector costs 1 less to cast for each creature your opponents control. So, oh, you got this guy over here with his Kranko deck, constantly pumping out goblins. You're going to play a 10/10 for 1 green mana, I bet you, with Kranko on the field. And then, whenever he enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on each, a +1/+1 counter on each other creature you control. You put him out with an Avenger of Zendikar, and then you put like a Conjurer's Closet, or if you have green-blue and you're bouncing him up and playing him again, and bouncing him up and playing him again, this is going to get silly very fast. You have any kind of the counter duplicators, whether you're doing what do you call it? Doubling season, or what's the other one? It's not Parallel Lives. Primeval Vigor? Primal Vigor? I think is it? That does tokens and counters for everybody? Yeah, if you have either one of those two out, holy crap, this is going to get ridiculous again, especially if you have Avenger of Zendikar. Then let's talk about, let's say you put him in a Riku deck. You cast him, you copy him. You bounce the original, the copy's still there, you cast him, you copy him. You're just going to keep making 10/10s, and you're just going to keep throwing out counters on it. It's, oh my god, I'm going to stop. I can't do it. I can't have this in my life right now. Assault Cinderhorn, you're going to have to apologize. It's obviously in a different language. I don't know why it says 5 mana. It's 4 mana. It is an Ox Elemental. Weird. It's a 4/2 with haste. At the beginning of each end step of each player, if no creatures attack this turn, put a Fury counter on Assault Cinderhorn. Then, Assault Cinderhorn deals damage to that player equal to the number of Fury counters on it. I don't see this being huge, because somebody's going to throw a 1/1 at you just for the sake of, hey, I want to attack so that I don't have this thing getting counters and then doing damage. And you're making yourself a target because you're forcing people to play. So it's kind of controlling for red, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to have to see how people play it to really have an opinion. This is the basic land cycle. I didn't talk about what it did, but for 3 mana at instant speed, you can exile up to 2 artifacts and or enchantments. This is insane. I'm sorry. This is an incredibly good card. It's versatile because it has a basic land cycle, so if you don't need this effect, you can turn around and go get a land if you're short on land. It's in green and, did I say green and black? 3, a green, and a white. And you're exiling artifacts and or enchantments. So for those nasty incursion decks, whether it's enchantment incursion, yes it exists, my wife runs it and I hate her, or that artifact incursion like Silas, you can turn around and say, nope, stop it, you're not getting this back, ever. It's exiled, it's gone, you're not getting it back. At instant speed even. Craziness. And the last card for what I clicked on Natraxa because it loaded. Oh, no, I got it right. Woohoo! The last card for today is Grave Upheaval. For 6 mana, for a black and red at sorcery speed. Put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. It gains haste. And again, basic land cycling too. Put target creature from a graveyard, any graveyard. That's insane, dude. You're having some trouble and somebody else just played one of their big creatures and it got board wiped. Somebody played a Kozilek and it got board wiped somehow. Guess what I'm gonna get? I'm gonna go get your Kozilek. I'm gonna get it. Somebody mills somebody's Ulamog, the Promised End. Well, I'm about to take your Ulamog, and I'm gonna take your turn. You might get a turn after that, but I'm gonna take your turn. And I'm gonna have a good time. So that's it. That's all 13 cards that they did today. I'll do another video like this tomorrow. I'm always so excited when Commander comes out. This one is 13 cards. Only one of the commanders for the 5 decks actually got spoiled. We don't know how many partners there's going to be yet. I don't know if there's going to be one for color or maybe one per color combination or maybe two. Who knows? Maybe they haven't shown us yet. Maybe there's going to be monocolored guys. So there's going to be just a green one with partner, just a white one with partner. It's possible. It's unlikely, but it's possible. I hope they keep partner. I think it is a great way to make decks even more versatile and diverse because you can have any kind of combination and then you can tailor the strategies as you see fit. Again, we went just through these two, whether you put, I mean, Crom could even then go up with Kydel. So every time, you draw an extra card, if an opponent casts spells during your turn and you draw a card, then you're going to tap Kydel for more mana. I don't know. It's not perfect. It's not always probable, but it's possible. It's not a bad strategy. So for this, guys, I'm going to call this to an end. Again, I'm super excited. Flanking, I wasn't crazy about. Proliferate, I'm just worried about what's coming. That's all. I'm really just worried about what's coming with Proliferate. Hopefully they don't print. Okay. A lot of Infect cards. They don't really need to. They really don't need to. Is there anything interesting on here? Each deck is going to be $35. There's going to be 56 new cards legal in Eternal formats. Obviously not standard legal because they don't come out in the normal standard rotation. And yeah. And there's just eventually going to be a Magic the Gathering Online edition of this, I guess. So for now, guys, that's all I got. Hopefully tomorrow they reveal another 4-color commander, and then I'll do another video. I will do a video every day that they reveal more cards, just to keep you guys in the loop. If you are going to be paying attention and you want to know more about Commander, you want to know more about Magic, you want to know more about just watching me freak out over cards, pieces of cardboard that I just turned sideways, do follow me on Twitter at DM_cross, and of course, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Hashtag Support a Nerd is something that I put in all my videos and basically just says if you have a friend out there who likes to do some kind of a hobby, whether it's magic, video games, art, drawing, comics, anything they want, if it's a nerdy habit, support them, even if it's just being interested in what they have to say, stuff like that, listening to these videos, liking these videos, sharing these videos, stuff like that. Just something to get them going. It helps them on a morale level, as well as, I'm sure it helps, get their word out for them. For Magic the Gathering, I'm going to put that at Wizards_MTG is the official Wizards Magic the Gathering Twitter handle. I'll put a link to them in the description below. And of course, for this set, hashtag MTGC16 is for Magic the Gathering Commander 16. Of course, guys, if you did enjoy this video, if you enjoyed learning a little bit about Commander, learning a little bit about this next set, do leave me a like, comment, subscription. It really does help me out. Remember, hashtag support nerd. I'll put my handle and the wizard handle